Are the Las Vegas Raiders actually about to pull off the impossible? Are they about to be able to get the best offensive mind in the game while not having a quarterback? And I'm going to tell you why I think this is absolutely a huge, huge possibility. But I'm also going to tell you why the Raiders, yes, the Raiders may be the most coveted or at least attractive or interesting head coaching job for a potential head coach. And I'm going to lay out those reasons in this video. And I know it's weird, but I promise you I can back it up. And if you are not sure what we do on this channel, this is not our first channel. We are Lions fans. You see the Hutch jersey in the background. And so, yes, we are talking about Ben Johnson in this. But at the same time, we love talking about teams that the national media kind of overlooks. But we just love talking about football. And we love talking about the Raiders, and they are doing things the right way when it comes to what this hiring process looks like. They are one of only 2 teams that has the ability to have a head coach GM come in together, kind of as a group package, which is what some of these coaches want to do. Ben Johnson of the Detroit Lions says, hey, if I'm going to come in and be a coach, I want it to be a tandem deal. I want to have someone that I know, that I'm familiar with, that has the exact same vision as I do to become the GM when I become the head coach. Why is he saying this? Because Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes, the GM and head coach of the Detroit Lions, have that symbiotic relationship where that works really, really well. He sees that it works, and he wants to do that. So who could the Raiders' next GM be? Well, look no further than the first name on this list, Ray Agnew. All right, I would throw Chris Spielman in there as well. They didn't do that in this list, but he is the Detroit Lions' assistant GM. He has been talked about for the last couple years of, hey, should he be there? But I think it's just garnering and gaining experience under Brad Holmes, just like Brad Holmes paid his dues with the Rams. Like, there is a way to go about doing these things, and Ray Agnew opens kind of the floodgates and the ability for him to do that. And another one, this is really interesting, all right? This is an article about the Chicago Bears. And they're talking about how the Bears face a nightmare in coaching search amid Raiders rumors, right? They're making the argument that Chicago should be the most attractive job on the market. They have a budding star at quarterback in Caleb Williams. I will argue maybe a budding star, right? And they have other pieces on both sides of the ball, and they do. They just don't have an offensive line. But they do have talent all over the place. However, here's the problem. All right, getting Ben Johnson got even more difficult. He's recently linked to the Raiders job. Originally, we thought maybe to the Jags, but then they retained their GM. All right, now it's just the Jets and the Raiders down with the, hey, we need a new GM and head coach. The Jets and the Jets and Ben Johnson. The Jets say have not asked him to have an interview, and I think Ben Johnson has said, I don't really want to go there. The feeling is mutual that the teams don't want to be with each other, and this is why the Jets are the Jets, and they're terrible, right? But you're doing things the right way. Also, Vrabel goes to New England, which also kind of sets away something that I think is very, very interesting. And that takeaway is that Tom Brady and Mark Davis are not fixated on the Patriot way. In fact, they at this point have not had a request of any former Patriot coaches. They reached out to Belichick, but that wasn't to get him to come coach. That was to pick his brain. All right, this is all very interesting. Now, Flores, they might talk to, and that's a link from the Patriots days, but I don't know if it's official yet. So, Davis is not interested in another go-round with the Patriots way after the failure of Josh McDaniels and Ziegler 2 years ago, according to these sources. And by the way, don't be, because it hasn't worked anywhere but New England. And by the way, it hasn't worked in New England if Tom Brady wasn't there. So let's talk about why this Raiders job, I think, is actually possibly, I don't know how to say this, more appealing than any other job. And you have to look at more than just the quarterback. You have to look at more than just the quarterback. All right, the Raiders have the 6th pick in the NFL draft. All right? They have the 6th pick in the 2025 NFL draft. All right? I believe that's where they're sitting at. All right? So, at least based on what I'm seeing as of recent. All right? So they have the number 6 pick, which is a good pick. Like, you can use some stuff, move up, do what you got to do when it comes to that. All right? Here's another reason that nobody is talking about, and you got to get on it. I'm a salary cap nerd. All right? The Raiders, all right, let's go look in here. In 2025, this is available salary cap room. $125,000 to the Patriots, $99,000 to the Raiders. So I can make the argument that the Patriots, if you like Drake May, are the most enticing option. The Raiders, there are plenty of quarterbacks available, whether it's, hey, we want to draft one and let them grow, whether you want to bring in a Sam Darnold. I understand what happened in the last 2 weeks of the regular season. I get it. But there are, maybe it's a Justin Fields, right? There are so many options, and I'm not saying they're all phenomenal options, but they are there. It's a blank canvas, but then you have $100 million, $99 million to fill out your roster. The teams who win championships, more often than not, all right, are teams that have a quarterback on a rookie contract or a cheaper contract. They have the opportunity to draft one early on. There's not a lot of quarterbacks that are separating themselves, so I think one will be available at number 6 for sure. All right, whether that's one you actually want or not, I don't know. But quarterbacks don't win Super Bowls on their second contract. I think Mahomes is the only person to do it, like in the last 20 years or something like that. Or maybe it's the third contract. It's the second contract. Quarterbacks don't do it. They win it on their rookie and then maybe again on their third or fourth contract. It's just too difficult. So they have the ability to do that. All right, bring in. Who do you like? Who do you want to bring in at quarterback? Right? Is there somebody that's floating around as a backup right now that you're saying, no, that guy could be the guy? Is there a person where it's like, yep, that's my Sam Darnold. I want to bring him in. Like, there are so many options and things available to them. I think that you can't overlook that situation, but you have $100 million to build out the rest of your roster, improve an offensive line, get weapons on the outside, do whatever you want to do. Bring in some veterans from your past teams that are able and willing and ready to create the culture that you had. Like, you have the money to spend. You have the ability to do so, so why wouldn't you do so? That's the thing that I always want to hit is like, this is attractive because you can really change the face of this roster and you can change what this organization looks like from the top down in one off season. Not a lot of jobs come with that. I would say the New England job comes with that, but your quarterback's already there, right? Your GM is already in place. You don't get to change from the top down. You get to do the roster, but you have to work with whatever GM's there. The Chicago Bears have $74 million available in cap space, but you got to work with the GM that's there. So if I'm a head coach and I get to go in and I get to have the say of who the GM's going to be so we can be on the same page, why would I not be interested in that? The Raiders' job is good, and if you get Ben Johnson, you are going to be very successful in that. All right. Hey, thanks for watching. See you on the next one. Tons of Raiders talk coming up this offseason. Hope you enjoy it. See ya.